Now it's 6 a.m. on WKYT this morning. A shooting at a pool party outside of Atlanta has killed a Kentucky college student.
Investigators arrested a woman accused of starting several fires in Lexington.
And a new bill that changes booster seat requirements is about to become law in Kentucky.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT This Morning.
Hey, top of the morning to you from the WKYT News team, and we're glad you're with us on this Monday. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Rebecca Smith, and we're glad that you're back, Bill.
Oh, it's nice to be back. Always nice to go, get a little vacation, and come back and rest up. You know?
A little R&R, and then you come back all nice and invigorated.
There you go. And but once again, we're back with hot weather, and it's going to continue today, it sounds like. Let's check in with meteorologist Micah Harris. There he is in our First Alert Weather Center. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. Yeah, we're looking outside and seeing calm conditions. Heading in toward the afternoon, there's not a good chance of rain. It's slight chances, much like what you felt this weekend. Temperature-wise, same deal. Upper 70s and some lower 70s here and there across the way this morning. But as we slide into the afternoon, it's going to be upper 80s, lower 90s. Is there a slight chance? Yes. It's 10 to 20. Most of us do stay dry. It's not a good chance of rain today nor tomorrow. The next few days is about the heat, and the heat rolls on. But as we slide toward midweek and late week, that's when the storms will start to approach our region, and that's because of a system in the Gulf of Mexico. And you know, when those come through our neck of the woods, get those low pressure systems, you'll get some good amount of rain. I mean, pretty significant amounts. And I'll show you how high we're expecting with those rain totals coming up.
All right, we'll see you in just a little bit. It will take something to knock these temperatures down a little bit. And leading our news on WKYT this morning, we have learned that a shooting outside of Atlanta has killed a Kentucky State University student.
The victim was one of 5 people shot at a pool party. WKYT's Victor Puente has more details on the victim from our live desk. Good morning.
Good morning, Rebecca. People who witnessed that shooting say hundreds of teens had gotten together for a party that started out peacefully and ended with 5 people being shot. The graduation pool party happened Saturday night south of Atlanta. Witnesses say more than 200 people were at the home, and around midnight a man began accusing people of drugging his daughter's drink. That's when a security guard shut the party down, and as people were leaving, the shots began. 5 people were struck, including 19-year-old Wally Clanton. The Kentucky State University student grew up in Florida. His high school football coach said he doesn't understand why Clanton was killed.
He always told me, Coach, I'm going to try my best, I'm going to do my best, I'm going to stay in shape, and I'm going to believe that I can do it, and that's the way he was. He was just high-spirited, and we're going to miss him.
Clanton's friends have been leaving their condolences for him on Twitter under the hashtag RIP Wally. Now, the 4 other teens who were shot had non-life-threatening injuries. Police haven't made any arrests in the shooting. At the live desk, Victor Puente, WKYT.
Victor, we thank you. Now we're tracking a developing story this morning in Carter County. A death investigation is underway at Carter Cave State Park. A deputy coroner says the victim was with some friends when he went into a lake at the park and never came out. Search crews later recovered the man's body. His name has not been released yet.
New this morning, police are looking for suspects who set up and robbed a Lexington pizza delivery driver. The employee was robbed a little before midnight at the Fox Run Apartments on McCullough Drive in Winburn. Police say 3 people, maybe teenagers, were wearing masks and knocked on the door there before stealing the pizza and cash. We have some new details this morning about the arrest of a serial arsonist in Lexington. Fire investigators charged Danitra Ross with 5 counts of arson. All 5 of those fires were started in the last 2 months. One of them was just last week at the Eastridge Apartments on Alumni Drive. In that case, firefighters were able to keep the fire contained to the side of the building. Ross will be arraigned this afternoon.
6:04 now on WKYT this morning. Big news for parents. We told you about a new bill that child booster seats passed during the Kentucky General Assembly earlier this year. Well, today, Governor Steve Beshear will sign that bill into law. WKYT's Sean Moody is live now now to explain what the new law will require of parents. Good morning, Sean.
Yeah, you might want to go measure your kids before June 25th. That's the day the law goes into effect. If they're 57 inches or under, they'll need to be in a booster seat. The Kentucky Transportation Cabinet says 15 children died in crashes across the state last year. 4 of them were unrestrained. House Bill 315 supporters say this law will bring Kentucky in line with 31 other states who are following recommendations from injury prevention experts. For kids in passenger cars, the Transportation Cabinet says the seats are 71% effective at preventing fatal injuries in infants and 54% for toddlers. They also say seats reduce the risk of injury by 60% over the use of seat belts alone. Governor Beshear will be here at Kentucky Children's Hospital along with the bill's co-sponsors and injury prevention doctors at 10 o'clock for that ceremonial signing. Live in Lexington, Sean Moody, WKYT.
All right, Sean, thank you.
Yeah, a prison instructor is actually due in court today. She's accused of helping 2 killers escape from an upstate New York prison.
Prosecutors say Joyce Mitchell agreed to be the getaway driver, but she backed out. Richard Matt and David Sweat used power tools to break out of the Clinton Correctional Facility near the Canadian border more than a week ago, and they are still on the run. Another Republican will be entering the 2016 presidential race today. Former Florida Governor Jeb Bush is planning to make the announcement in an afternoon speech at Miami-Dade College. That is the nation's largest university. He'll become one of 11 major Republicans already running for the nomination. Meanwhile, Democrats are trekking across Iowa in an effort to appeal to voters in the state that starts off the 2016 presidential calendar. Former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders, and former Virginia Senator Jim Webb, who is considering a presidential bid, have been speaking to supporters in a number of cities.
Well, the U.S. military says it likely killed an al-Qaeda-linked militant leader during weekend airstrikes in Libya. The suspect is charged with leading the attack on a gas plant in Algeria in 2013 that killed at least 35 hostages, including some Americans. But an Islamist with ties to Libyan militants says the suspect was not killed. That same source says the airstrike did kill 4 people that the U.S. linked to the attack on the U.S. consulate in Benghazi that killed Ambassador Chris Stevens and 3 other Americans.
A rare reptile can now call Kentucky home. The Kentucky Reptile Zoo in Powell County is now home to a Mang mountain viper. It's normally found only in rural China. It wasn't discovered until 1989, and there are only about 500 of them left in the wild. Researchers at the Kentucky Reptile Zoo are trying to figure out if certain kinds of snake venom have cancer-fighting compounds.
Now, your zone-by-zone forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris and First Alert Defender.
Defender this morning showing a nice clean sweep. There is nothing going on outside. That's good news for us getting up, heading out early in the morning. So take off. Have a good day if you're about to take off. Well, let me get you updated on the weather first. First Alert Defender live radar showing you those storms still to the north of us. And if you remember last week, I talked all about for about 3 consecutive days this area of high pressure right over us. And what that does, you get the winds coming in and swirling around it clockwise, which means what? You get those winds coming in from the south and southwest, pushing that front to the north. It kind of just literally pushes that front to the north and says, don't come in here just yet. That moves out later on this work week, and once it does, then that front sinks southbound. But until then, we keep the showers and thunderstorms to the north of us and only a very slight chance of rain. It's all about the temperatures the next few days. We're sitting there in the 60s southbound because of the cloud cover from those storms to the north of us. We are there in the 70s central and northern zones. It's not a good feel, though. That humidity is there. You will feel that moisture on the increase each and every day. 90 degrees later on this afternoon. Is that a record? No, not really close. Mid to upper 90s is a record. And then we look toward that evening hour, heading out to the ball fields for the kiddos. You walk, run there at the park, whatever, around the neighborhood. Yeah, it's going to be pretty humid. It's pretty nasty. Ask Rebecca and Bill. We've been talking about that throughout the morning hours. Yard work forecast. It's mainly dry today. If you weren't able to do it this past weekend, you can still do it today and really tomorrow. A storm or two is possible. But for the most part, I think you can still knock that out. It's only about a 30% chance of rain tomorrow. But Wednesday off toward late week, that's when a system comes barreling on through here that could give us widespread rain. And I say could, kind of put emphasis on that because it all depends on the track of that. But as of right now, you better knock out those yard activities for today and tomorrow. It's all about the heat, though. You're going to be running in some pretty humid and nasty conditions. and it'll be humid for a while. I mean, we're seeing that moisture on the increase each and every day, and that means storm chances are lurking, but they're just not here just yet. Look what I'm looking at on the 7-day forecast. Each and every day, boom, it gets higher and higher and higher. And then we slide toward Friday. I think Friday is your best chance to actually see some widespread rain. But remember, as we spoke about in the 5 o'clock show, there is a tropical system in the Gulf of Mexico that's going to be headed our way late week, right around that Friday time frame. As of right now, it moves north of us. I'd say Cincinnati northbound. But Rebecca, if it slides southbound 50 miles, we're looking at significant rain. There's a swath I'll have to show you in our next full weather that shows 6 to 8 inches of rain stretching from Texas to Missouri to kind of Cincinnati, Ohio, and Indiana, that area. So if it moves southbound, we're looking at tremendous amounts of rain. We'll be watching that in the days to come.
Continuing a trend that we've really seen since April.
No doubt about it.
With all that rain. Each morning we bring you weather and traffic together. Here's Officer Don right now with a look at what is happening out there on the roads.
Hey, good morning. Well, no wrecks on the circle. At least we're off to a good start there. And we just checked man of war on the inner and outer loops from I-75 over to Versailles Road. It looks like we got a straight shot in that area this morning. Let's get a look outside and we'll show you what to expect as you plan to head out the door. Right now, with no wrecks downtown or on the circle, we're in pretty good shape. If we get a live look there at Nicholasville and Alumni, is there a car? It's really, really quiet out there inbound on Nicholasville Road. Really, we're seeing the same thing on North Broadway, some traffic off the interstate, but everything's moving well. Now back to you in the studio.
All right, Don, thank you. Kind of a light summer pattern out there for folks. A lot of folks
sleeping in, maybe?
Sleeping in, taking a break and so forth. But a lot of folks also getting up, ready to go this morning. We're glad you're along with us. 6:11 is our time this morning.
We've got the latest on a Lexington crash that sent 2 drivers to the hospital.
Also ahead on WKYT, Jurassic World takes a bite out of its competition at the box office. That story and more on the way this Monday morning.